Magandang Martes sa inyong lahat. Today is November 24, 2020. 31 days na lang. 1 month na lang. Christmas na. Pinag-aandaan niyo na ba itong Christmas? Meron na ba kayong pang-exchange gift o postpone ng exchange gift ngayon? Kahit bumili ng bagong damit, mukhang konti lang namimili. At yung mga Christmas party, baka subdued yung Christmas party natin. Meron po tayong balita tungkol sa M-Wide at sa SMC Preferreds mula sa BDO Nomura at ang resulta ng trading sa PSE. Lahat ng ito sa November 24 edition ng The Stock Market Today. Bago pong lahat, basahin po muna natin ang ating mga reminders at disclaimers. At habang binabasa po natin ito, kung first time niyo po dito sa ating channel, ay nag-start po ako magbigay ng daily stock market report noong August 2020. I invite you to subscribe to my channel so you are always updated with the latest news and information on the stock market and the most active stocks in the PSE. I am a retired employee of one of the Philippines' largest banks. I was also an OFW when I was assigned to our branch in Hong Kong as head of compliance. Mga 8 months din po akong namalagi sa ibang bansa. And after that, I was assigned through the grace of God as Chief Compliance Officer of a bank subsidiary. Since early 2000, I started investing in UITFs, and a few years later, I started investing in stocks. I review the most active stocks in the Philippine market using technical analysis, and sometimes I add a bit of fundamental analysis. By the way, if you want me to review your favorite stock, please comment on the comment box below, and I will do my best to do the review. This is from the Daily Digest of BDO Nomura. I am using this for today's edition of our stock market report. So the first one is from M-Wide. The source is PSE Edge. M-Wide submits additional requirements for the NAIA rehab project. M-Wide announced that it has submitted additional documents to the Manila International Airport Authority or for the NAIA rehab project. The company stated that the documents show that the M-Wide GMR consortium can support the requirements of the 109 billion project. It has a commentary here. This is from Nomura also. No details regarding additional docs were disclosed to the public. As such, it would be hard to gauge if the company's additional documents improve M-Wide's chances to be awarded the unsolicited proposal. Oh, so hindi pa pala na-award to. It should be also noted that if the NAIA proposal were to progress, it should still need to undergo a bidding process. May bidding pa pala. Open to the other entities before being awarded. As it stands, we are concerned over the added balance sheet pressure a new investment would put on M-Wide's balance sheet, given that its consolidated 9-month 2020 net DE, that's debt equity ratio, had already risen to 2.6 times, whereas the fiscal year 2019 was only 2.3 times amid continuing losses from its existing airport business. Okay, yung debt equity ratio kasi is total liabilities over stockholders' equity. Ngayon, pagka lumalaki yung debt equity ratio, it's a cause for concern of a company on its ability to in general operate because the debts are rising and it's managing the debt that's very important. And the more debts you have, the more difficult it is for a company to manage its operations, especially if you compare it against stockholders' equity. So, merong cause of concern dito when it comes to the M-Wide's balance sheet. Next, we have also from Nomura, SMC looking to raise at least 10 billion from preferred shares. Meron nga palang new issue si SMC, no? Ito yung preferred shares. Actually, nagsimula yan sa 2A, 2B, 2C, 2D, hanggang umabot siya sa 2K. Ito yun. Offering preferred shares worth 10 billion until December 1 with an oversubscription option of 10 billion max. Offer at 200 billion. The proceeds of this offer will be used for 1. Investments by debt equity and other instruments in the Manila International Airport in Bulacan and other airport-related projects. Equity investments in Bank of Commerce, and refinancing existing obligations. The offer consists of at least 133.33 million cumulative non-voting, non-participating non-convertible and redeemable preferred shares at 75 per share with a dividend rate of 4.5% per annum. Step up on the 5th year. Okay, kumuha ba kayo nito? Ako mukhang kukuha nito as part of my passive income. Pero knowing San Miguel, kasi the preferred shares, they pay that quarterly. And yung 4.5% compared to the baba ng rates ngayon 2%, 1.5% ang T-bills. And then, the great cut pa ang BSP, so lalo pang bumaba. Pero 4.5 is already good compared to the prevailing rates. Pero you should have gotten the SMC2C. Kasi alam nyo ba kung magkano rate noon? That's 2012 That's 8%. 8% gross, 7.2 net. Alam ko yan dahil meron ako noon. And it's part of my passive income as a retired employee. Okay, ito yung commentary niya, no? Ang source nga pala nito was the Inquirer. While the preferred shares could provide funding flexibility for SMC's various investments, we note that this could still result to a near-term EPS dilution, earnings per share yan. We have a neutral rating for SMC. Actually, SMC is medyo mataas, no? If we'll take a look at the prices now. Pero ang commentary lang ni BDO Nomura is that neutral siya because of this. Yung EPS dilution niya because of the preferred shares. And then, ang recommendation niya sa MWide is also neutral. Okay, so let's now take a look at what happened to the PSE. The PSE, naku, nag-drop siya. 7108.67 or 69.95 points down. That's almost 1%, 0.97% decline. And if you take a look at the market summary, 134 or 101 advanced, 134 declined, while 40 remained unchanged. Net foreign selling po, 621.19 million. As for the sectoral indices, the all-share index reflected a decline of 0.6%, while the other sector, the sectors, only properties registered a gain, 0.28% or 9.4%. The rest declined. The decliners was led by the holding companies at 1.48%, followed by the industrials at 1.46. I'm sorry, the decliners was led by mining at 1.67%, then followed by the holding companies at 1.48%. Okay, let's now take a look at the most active stocks that we will review. FNI, wow, it's number 1, huh? So let's review FNI, BDO, BPI, ASEN, MBT, RLC, GTCAP, Merrimart, BSC, the top gainer, and Special To Pizza. And I'll be sharing with you Nomura's recommendation here. Okay, let's now start with FNI. Global Ferronickel. Tumaas siya. Meron volume. But, let's see, 1.73K. Okay, so may volume din. And this is an all-time high, 2.09. Bakit siya ng all-time high? Yung Global Ferronickel. 8.47% yung increase niya. What I can say here about the stock is that it follows nickel prices. And probably, the nickel prices are also at its all-time high. So, let's check ang kanyang resistance level. Here's what I can say is, ito lang. Ito yung 52-week high niya. Yan yung resistance level. 210. 209, 210 ang resistance level. When I say resistance and support, these are areas and not specific price lines. No? So, areas ito. Kaya yung ibang chartist, yung sina JC, sina Toma, ang ginagawa nila hindi line It's an area o yung squarish area to illustrate the support and resistance kasi hindi siya specific line. Now, since all-time high siya at may net foreign buying, maaring makapasok pa kayo dito. Pero let's just be careful kasi nickel prices, although maaring, I'm just guessing, that nickel prices are just high, but it can change anytime. So, the nearest support here is, let's see, 52-week high. The nearest support is here. Yan, 1.84, ang nearest support niya. Okay, since there is volume, so maaari pang tumaas yung stock. And there's net foreign buying. Okay, let's take a look at BDO. BDO mukhang nagko-consolidate siya. Pero just to share with you, I have a position here in BDO, which I bought noong November. Kasi early November nakabili ako at 94 And then I was able to sell it at 100. And then I had a position at 100. Binenta ko at 110. Tama-tama yan yung resistance level. And after 110, nag-retreat na yung presyo. Nag-consolidate na siya. Actually, this is a, what do you call this candlestick? It's a, parang cross morning star. Parang siyang morning star. Sa akin, ito ay sign of weakness sa stock. And although there is volume, it is declining. So kung titingnan po natin to, hindi natin makikita to sa RSI. Kasi RSI, masasabi pa rin natin bullish yung stock. Let's draw a trend line on the RSI. Ayan siya. Bullish pa rin yung stock in spite of this. Pero if you see a red candlestick in the following day, then you may want to consider this is a probable reversal in trend of the stock. Kaya lang, mahusay na stock sa video. Maring short-term consolidation lang to. Because if you'll see, the next resistance level is 140. Na-memorize ko na yung resistance nito eh. Dahil sa ginagawa kong trading plan araw-araw. 114, ito yung peak niya. 114, 114.5. And then, you just look, no? Kung ma-break niya yan. Kung tumaas, pa ulit the following day. At na-break niya yan, then the next resistance level is here na. 125, 126 yan. And then, ang nearest support niya is nandito. Right now, ang tingin ko dyan is, maaaring mag-consolidate muna siya bago siya tumuloy. 100 yung nearest support yan. Ngayon, na-break niya yung 100, umakyat siya sa 110, nagkaroon ng resistance. Ito, naging 111 nga, na-reject lang siya dyan. Ano? Yung RSI niya is, well, pataas pa rin. Pero, just, pantayin niyo lang itong, I'm just concerned about this morning star here. Because, if you see a red candlestick the following day, then that is a sign of confirmation that there is a possible trend reversal. But if you see another green candlestick, then the next resistance level niya is mahit niya yung 110. At kung lumagpas siya dyan, 114 yung abangan yung resistance. Pwede pa ba kayong bumili? Kung akong tatanungin nyo, ang tinitignan ko kasi resistance level is 126. And you will see, dahil bull market tayo ngayon, in the short term, baka mag-consolidate siya, no? But ako kasi I look beyond this price here. And the stock went as high as 160. So kung ako mag-trade nito, 126 yung magiging target ko. Pero medyo worry ako ngayon dahil siguro kung papasok ako, aantayin ko muna na malaman ko kung ano yung next candlestick dito. Kung green siya, kung generally it's green, then bibili ako. Pero kung nag-red candlestick, siguro aantayin kong bumaba siguro sa 104 or kahit 101 bago ako bumili. Okay, next, let's take a look at BPI. BPI, profit taking siya. Similar to BDO. Earnings value, 33.61. Less down. Okay. So it's a red candlestick here. And it's a reverse hammer. Reverse hammer or, hindi siya reverse hammer, hanging man siya. It's a hanging man. So parang, ito yung head, tapos ito yung body niya, na nakabitin. Ito reverse hammer ang tawag dito. Ito hanging man. Ito hanging man dito. Anyway, so it's a profit-taking day that happened to BPI. And while the stock keeps on moving higher, let's just be careful, no? Because I see a bearish trend in the RSI. So, kung titingnan natin yung RSI, ito siya. May bearish trend siya. So, while the stock is moving higher, yung level naman niya bumababa. So, it's a sign that the prices is peaking. Meaning, baka ma-reach niya yung pinaka-apex niya and mag-consolidate siya before moving upwards. Kaya although yung ating mga indicators that 20-day exponential, 50, and 100 are still pointing upwards. The RSI has a bearish divergence. So, how do I see the stock? Pwede pa kayong pumasok pero ingat lang ha. Kasi nga, anytime magre-reverse yan si BPI. Now, if you see another red candlestick the following day, then nag-reverse na yung trend. Pero kung nag-consolidate lang siya at nagpahinga, and you see a green candlestick, then the next level that you have to watch out is this resistance level here. Actually, nasa resistance na siya. Punta tayo sa weekly. 94 or 95 yung next resistance level niya. And then after that, it will be here already. 99 or 100. 100 yung, after 95, then it will be 100 yung itatest niyang resistance level. So, tingnan na natin, ano? Let's observe tomorrow. Kung red candlestick yan, then nagbago na yung trend. Kung green candlestick yan, then maaaring nagko-consolidate lang or tumuloy siya pataas. Okay, next, let's take a look at ASIN. ASIN, pataas ng pataas eh. Pero, ako, worry na ako dito because it's going up very, very fast. And then, alam mo, pag nakakatakot kasi pagka umakyat yan napakataas, pagkatapos, ang tendency niyan is, baka ang bagsak niyan is mas malaki. Here, we have what we call, this is called a morning star or an evening star. Anyway, it's a green candlestick with a short body, and there's volume. And I think that while the RSI has reached overbought levels, the body of the candlestick becomes smaller and smaller. Again, ingat tayo dito, no? Maaaring tuwang-tuwa tayo kung meron tayong position tayo dito. But make sure that in the first sign of a red candlestick, mag-profit taking na ho kayo. Or ngayon pa lang, mag-sell in tranches na kayo. If that's your style, and then yung remaining shares nyo, i-hold nyo na lang. And watch the market tomorrow on where the prices will go. Kasi napakalaki ng range, no? Low of 615 and high of 993. And then nag-close siya at 660 or mga 2.39%. Not bad. But the stock is already, I think, it's already high. And it's about time na mag-consolidate ito. Okay, next, let's take a look at MBT. MBT, may profit taking din to. Maaaring nagpapahinga lang to similar to BPI. So, just like my analysis of BPI, this is kasi a hanging man. If you'll have to observe what the candlestick is tomorrow, because if this is a green candlestick, then most probably nagko-consolidate lang si MBT. Kasi there appears to be a breakout of sorts yesterday, pero hindi na sustain, no? Nagkaroon ng red candlestick. So, maaaring nagko-consolidate lang siya because yung pataas yung kanyang indicators natin is pataas eh. And the levels that you'll have to observe is this resistance level here, mga 53.05. Between 52 and 53. Okay? 52 and 53 is the next resistance level. Kasi there is a gap here. There's a gap there, and that has to be filled. Kaya yung aking upper resistance level is 53.05, and the lower resistance level is 52. Or 51. 51.52. So yan yung take ko sa MBT. Ngayon, kung magkaroon ng another red candlestick, tingnan nyo kung anong klaseng red candlestick. Mababa ba? Tumaas ba? Kung pataas kasi, baka nagko-consolidate lang. Pero kung a solid red engulfing candlestick, then there is a strong trend reversal. Ang masasabi ko dyan. Okay, next let's take a look at RLC. RLC is, sabi ko sa inyo, meron akong position dito na nabili ko sa 1608. Pero ngayon, it has reached 18. And meron siyang, anong tawag dito? Morning star? Or bullish abandon baby? Pero, napakalaki yung range ng movement niya. Let's just take note of the resistance levels. Kasi meron siyang volume eh. Pero maliit yung body, no? So baka mag-consolidate lang to. Next resistance level niya is 20. Pero ang target price po dito is 22. Okay, and the year support is here. Why? Kasi meron siyang resistance dito na naging support. And meron siyang support din dito. So, tingin ko sa stock, baka mag-consolidate. If you see a red candlestick, then maaaring nagko-consolidate siya. Pero kung green, then aakyat pa siya. Meron siyang volume. Meron din siyang net foreign buy sa stock. Next is GT Cap. GT Cap, red candlestick siya. So, maaaring nag-profit taking to. And if you'll see, ang resistance niya, nag-stop siya dito eh. So I would say, that this is a resistance level, 621. Nag-stop siya dyan, na-reject siya dyan, and then the nearest support is here. So maaaring nagko-consolidate lang si GTCAP together with BDO and BPI. Okay, now if there is another red candlestick here, then nag-reverse na yung trend. Next, let's take a look at Merrimart. Ito pang isang stock na akala mo hindi babagsak. Dire-diretso siya. Ayan, no? Actually, another breakout, I would say a breakout. Pero, tingnan nyo, may declining volume siya. And ako, wala akong position dito sa Merrimart. Maaring, siguro maglalagay lang ako ng maliit na position. Pero ang fear ko kasi dito is that the stock is already too expensive. And overbought na si RSI. Pero kung makikita natin yung DMI will be above 30. Merong trend, 51 or almost 52. So tingin ko patataas pa yan, pero ingat lang po tayo. Because the volume is getting lower. And although it is a solid green candlestick. So baka mag-profit taking yan or magkaroon ng consolidation. Next, let's take a look at BSC. Wow, look at that, BSC. 30.17. Ano kaya nangyari dito? And, di ba, meron siyang volume dito. Ano kaya to? Pero net foreign selling, ha? Yan yung nakakapagtaka. It went as high as 36 centavos and as low as 0.27 or 30.17% yung increase niya. Laki nito, Okay. Basic energy kasi is renewable energy. Tingnan natin yung PSE. Disclosure niya. BSC, originally incorporated as Basic Enterprises, 1968. Oil and Gas Exploration and Development. Then, naging Basic Petroleum. BSC evolved from an operating company to a holding company under Basic Consolidated. And then, in 2007, in line with the inclusion among its primary purposes, the production of ethanol and other biofuels, and the development of other alternative renewable energy sources. So, it changed its corporate name to the present one. So, may renewable energy din siya, but I suppose meron din siyang ibang sources of energy. So, let's take a look at BSC. And kanina, tinitingnan ko yung disclosure sa PSE. Nakikita nyo ba? O hindi? Ito, November 24. I'll just read it na lang. Kasi hindi ko ma-display. Our company has no knowledge. Okay, ito yung inquiry. Reply to inquiry of unusual price movement, letter of CMIC. That's Capital Markets. Yung IC hindi ko memorize. No? CM is Capital Markets. Dated November 24, 2020. One of the regulators. No? So, ang inquiry, nag-inquire Capital Markets on the unusual price movement. Ang sagot niya is that our company has no knowledge or information that would cause an unusual price movement on BSE shares other than the 2020 GIS and the draft of the minutes of the annual stockholders meeting held last October 23 that was submitted to the second PSE in compliance with second PSE rule. So, wala. So, parang ano lang to, I don't know, market sentiment, you would say, together with ASEN. Pero, dapat green din, di ba? Basic energy. ASEN tumataas, but let's check green. Green, nagko-consolidate lang siya. So, hindi. So, nagkaroon ng place sa BSE, or BSC. So, this is a 52-week high. And right now, I cannot place a resistance here other than the closing price of, the highest point, which is 36 centavos. Now, the nearest support, I would say, is here, the lowest, 0.27. Now, how will I see the stock? Alam mo sa akin, BSC, 50-50 to. Either tumuloy yung pagtaas niya because of the volume, o mag-profit taking kinabukasan. Tingnan nga natin yung intraday nito. Okay, nagkaroon ng gap up noong 9:30. Noong 10, na-reach niya yung, noong 9:50, na-reach niya yung highest at 36. Tapos ng profit taking dito sa 9:55. Tapos nag-consolidate. Tumaas ng konti. Tapos nag-consolidate ulit. So, yun yung kwento niya today. So, it entered its highest at 20 minutes after opening. Okay, sa akin, kasi ingat lang tayo dito. If you have this stock, ingat lang po. Kasi, hindi pa nagkakaroon ng ganitong kalaking volume. Pero ang feel ko lang dito is that baka mag-profit taking yan bukas. Wala po akong basis. Just a feeling na baka mag-profit taking to. And laki ng gap po. Meron siyang gap up. And baka meron gap up po kasi, sooner or later, mafe-feel po yan. the market will feel it. And in so many instances that I've seen in many stocks. So makikita mo dito is, tingnan mo itong RSI. May bearish divergence siya. Baka ano lang to? Baka na, I don't know. Ayokong gamitin yung word na hype. Pero nagamit ko na. Okay. So, if I will draw a trend line here, tama siya. Tumaas na yan, ha? Tumaas na yung presyo dyan, ha? Mas mataas pa siya dito kaysa dito, eh. So, eventually, the stock may probably profit take, or kung talagang meron siyang volume, then tataas na yan. Okay? So, net foreign selling ang mga foreign institutions. Then finally, we have pizza. I-share ko lang sa inyo yung analysis ni BDO Nomura dito. Wala po akong position dito sa pizza. Pero, tingnan po natin yung analysis ni BDO Nomura. Let me put that up. Okay. Itong chart na ginawa ni BDO Nomura and analysis is quite short. Sabi niya dito, Shakey's Pizza's recent move from end of October had several bullish candles, eventually forming the pole of our bullish pennant formation. This is indicating an upward bias continuation after its one-week consolidation. So, nag-consolidate daw siya dito. Tingnan natin yung chart, kung tama nga siya. Ito. No? So, ito yung sinasabi niyang consolidation. We measured the pulse height at 2.14 pesos, which gives us an approximate target of 10.64 from a breakout level of 8.50. Tapos 8.50 na breakout siya. Ito yung breakout niya. Sabi niya it's breakout. Pero kung titingnan natin yung chart. Pero hindi siya breakout, eh. When you see a breakout, merong kasamang volume yan. Ito lang kasi isa solid green candlestick here, eh. Wala kasamang volume. Average volume lang siya. So, tuloy natin. Our oscillators are supporting the price run-up without any divergences. On site, expect a 21% potential upside on the short-term play with 1:2 risk-reward ratio. Okay. Okay siya. 1:2 risk-reward ratio. Now, the current price is 880. That was yesterday. Closed at 880. 880. Pero sa 859 now, eh. Ngayon, ang sabi niya is that ang target price niya is 1064. 1064 yung target price niya. Natin, totoo ba? 1064? Bakit naging 1064? Kasi, kung titingnan natin to, dito niya tina-target. Ito kasi yung resistance level na tinitingnan niya. Yan. Itong level na ito. This level here ang tinitingnan niya na resistance. Draw natin. Yan yung resistance level that Nomura is suggesting. And sa inyo po yan. Maniniwala ba kayo dito o hindi? So, I checked the risk-reward ratio sa may computation ko. Hindi nyo nakikita dito na sa Excel file. Pero I checked the risk-reward ratio. Okay, kung ang target price mo is 1064, your entry price is 859 or 860, halimbawa. Tapos nag-stop loss siya ng, magkano yung stop loss niya? Stop loss niya is 8 eh, dito. Pero ako, ang stop loss ko mas mataas. Hindi 8 ang stop loss ko ang gagawin ko dyan. 825 ang gagawin ko stop loss based on an ATR of 0.34. Yan yung average true range. ATR, guys, is the average true range. This is the range of the stock for the past 14 days, or the average range of the stock for the past 14 days, which is 0.34. Here, dito nyo makikita yung area niya. 0.3425. Pagka ginawa kong 0.3425, ang aking stop loss would be at 859 entry, 860 level, 824 yung magiging stop loss ko. Pero nasa sa inyo po yan kung gusto nyo gawin yung recommendation ni Nomura, go right ahead. O pwede rin gawin yung 8 yung stop loss nyo para yung risk-reward ratio nyo is 2:1. Kasi kung 8 ang stop loss, 2:1 yan. Pero kung yung stop loss ko na 825, ang magiging risk-reward ko tataas for 1:4.4. And since the price is lower now, then the risk-reward ratio will be higher. Nasa sa inyo po yan, ano? Kung gusto nyo maniwala kay BDO Nomura, or you do your own research, and kung gusto nyo pumasok dito, then okay. Kung hindi naman, then do your research, and pumasok after doing the research, then okay, di ba? That's our stock market report today, Tuesday, the 24th of November. Po si Benji Chidoro, nagpapaalala, mag-ingat sa COVID-19. An investment in knowledge pays the best interest. Thank you very much. See you again in our next episode, and bye for now.